My countrymen, this is Eli Veles Lau Pamatong, President of the Republic of the Philippines. And tonight I have come to explain to you the application for resettlement which you might have read on the Facebook or social media. It looks like this. It's a form, an application form for resettlement in a third country. Once they accept your application for resettlement, once the United Nations, for instance, will help you, or the host country will help you, you'll be issued a parole visa, or if they like your qualification, you will be given immigrant status. Like in Canada, where there is 1 million jobs open to foreigners, you can apply there, and if they like your qualifications, they will not only give you a parole visa, but immigrant visa to Canada. There are millions of jobs and opportunities open in Canada. But there are also jobs or employment or openings in New Zealand, Australia, and America. But I would prefer that you apply for Canada first, if you can stand the cold there, because Canada has announced that it is welcoming 1 million or more foreigners to work in Canada. And so you fill this up if you want. It's issued in the name of the USAFE and submit it to the nearest commanding general of the USAFE in your area, in Mindanao or here in Luzon. Before I proceed, let me explain why I thought of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee, UNHCR, as one of the institutions that can help us. As far back as 1972, when I escaped from martial law, I proceeded to Japan. That is from Malaysia, where I was jailed instead of being allowed to go to the Embassy of America in Singapore. I passed by Brunei and I escaped from Brunei to Japan, where I was assisted by the Franciscan order to seek asylum anywhere in the world, preferably America. And the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee came to my rescue upon the recommendation of the Catholic Mission in Geneva and the United States delegation there, mission in Geneva. With the assistance of the Catholic Mission and the United States Mission in Geneva, I successfully obtained a parole visa to the United States, where I stayed for more than 30 years. So I'm familiar with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee because I became a mandate refugee, sort of adopted person under the UNHCR. And then as a mandate refugee pursuant to the Refugee Convention of 1951, I was given shelter by the United States of America for more or less 30 years. That's why I know that if we only pursue, or you only pursue your desire to go to a third country, you can go there, but you have to fight like what I did. You have to really fight with all the efforts you can afford to exert, and then you can go to the country that you want, preferably Canada, New Zealand, Australia, or the United States of America. That is why I published it there. And I decided to do that because I thought that you Filipinos, no offense meant, are not really capable of fighting for your rights anymore. I think you have been so dehumanized. You have lost your self-respect. You have lost the courage to fight for what is right. And you are helpless. And so, since you didn't follow my command to rise up and fight the dictatorship in the Philippines or drive away the Chinese soldiers from the Philippines or recover the Philippine Islands occupied by the Chinese, I thought of helping you in some other ways, like applying for resettlement in a third country. Why should I force you to fight when you're cowards? I mean, you have to admit that cowardice is not, I would say, something you should be ashamed of. You know, when you love life so much, you can be a coward, or you love your wife so much, you don't want to fight, or your children. And so there is a place for cowardice in the life of a person. And I think many of us have become cowards because we are not in a mood to fight. Lockdown is the worst form of evil. It's the worst form of violence, the worst form of corruption, lockdown. Because through lockdown, you cannot work. You just have to sit down there and wait for some aid from the government, which does not come, or if it comes in a pittance, not enough to buy food or even medicine that you badly need for your family. And with this kind of situation, I thought that since you don't want to fight, I will help you in some other ways. You know, in America, death of one person is causing riots across America. In major cities, about 33 major cities already. It's a riot. We cannot accept the fact that one black man was killed by a white policeman without any reason at all. He was begging for life. He was saying, I cannot breathe, I cannot breathe. But the white man didn't care. He killed him with his knee on the neck of that person. He was pressed to the ground and he died. And when a black athlete, a popular athlete, asked the black people to rise up, or those who love freedom to rise up, that sparked riots across America. And now you can see riots all over America just because of one man dying. Just because one man said, you fight for your rights, because this abuse is too much. Here in the Philippines, oh my God, forgive me if I tell you, you are a freaking coward. 30,000 died. You didn't react in any way that is respectable. You just kept quiet. You acted in a manner, in a way that cowards do. Especially the death of Kian de los Santos. That young boy was really seen through a camera being dragged by the police to a corner and shot there. And no reaction from our people. And worse, the parents accepted money from, I think, the Duterte government and kept quiet. If that happened in America, if that happened in Mexico, if that happened in France, my God, it can trigger a revolution, a societal upheaval, unprecedented in the history of a country. In France, when there was some kind of problem, they burned hundreds and hundreds of cars. They will not tolerate this. But in the Philippines, I'm sorry to say that you do not really deserve the freedom that I think you should have. Because you never fought for your freedom anyway. It was given to you. And we do not fight for a freedom that you have. You don't care. When you are given money and you did earn that money, you don't care spending all of it. So you earned freedom. I mean, you had freedom for 70 years, which you never earned. It was granted by America. It was given by America. You never fought for it. And so you did not value that freedom. It's all right if we lose that freedom. Now, Duterte is controlling the country worse than any kind of dictator in the world, worse than any kind of communist leader in the world. But you still let him do it. So, again, we cannot fight. I don't think you are in a position to fight, except a few who are supporting me. I have been in exile for 30 years and I don't want to be exiled again. I escaped from this country twice, first in 1972 and second 1987. I don't want to escape again. I want to stay here and fight for my right to be in this country because I am a Filipino and nobody can dictate me on what to do in this country. I live as a freeman. I will die as a freeman. I will fight as a freeman. I will save this country as a freeman if I'm given the chance by the highest authority. And so, if you want to go to New Zealand, Australia, Canada, America, or any country of your choice, you put it here in the application form. And then you submit it to the nearest commanding general of the USFA and indicate what country you want to go. And then you wait for the results because we will be asking from Canada, for instance, for a favor. You cannot demand from us. We can only help you. That's why I'm offering. You don't have to pay me anything except if you make some donations because I'm not receiving a salary from the government. I'm not receiving anything from the government. And of course, we need money to be following up these things. But I assure you, you don't have to spend 400,000, 500,000, 100,000. That's too much. You know, swindlers in Manila are doing that. They're exploiting the poor people without actually following up their so-called applications or not filing any application at all. You will not expect that from us. We'll try our very best to help you, but do not demand because we are asking a favor from Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and America. And we'll do our best. Just try to make a good resume or biodata because they will base their acceptance on that. And if they like your qualifications, then you will be granted immigrant visa to America. If not, at least you'll be paroled into America, into Canada, into New Zealand, into Australia. That is my explanation for this. It is my act of kindness being a refugee myself. I have been a refugee myself. I was jailed in Malaysia instead of being helped by Malaysia. I was exiled in Japan and I was not helped by the British there. So I had to escape to Japan using a forged visa. And in Japan, I was sheltered by the Franciscan Order of the Catholic Church until I was granted the parole visa to Canada, actually. I was given an employment there. But then I did not proceed to Canada. I stayed in America to fight for freedom, to fight for the liberation of the Filipinos, which in the end really happened. But then we are back to zero because now we are under a dictator far, far worse than President Marcos or Dictator Marcos. There is no way we can fight him unless we are united. Without being united, we cannot fight for anything. But again, I will stay here with those who would like to stay in the Philippines and fight to the end, to the very end, until freedom is ours. And with the help of the highest authority, I know that one day the Philippines will be free again. I think I have said enough. Thank you and good night.